Well, good morning, men. This particular video is 100% directed towards the men of the United States of America. This goes to all the men that have been fighting for their livelihoods, fighting for their lives, if you will, fighting against their wives, their ex-wives, their ex-girlfriends, their ex-friends, the lonely departed men are nothing but the strength of this country. And men that that you are needed upon these times, and we need to understand together that without us, this place we live in is going to fall faster. And no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how tough things have been lately, no matter how bad it seems, I need y'all to hang in there, and I need y'all to trust in yourself. I need you to know that there are many men out there like you. They are coming for us next if they keep getting their way. And I used to run a podcast called Quiet Voices. At one point in time, I had 36 episodes, but a dude that would like to call himself a man who's nothing but a little narc bitch deleted all my videos because he is a little bitch. And we all know these type of men that have been in our life, these sidewinders, these backstabbers, these crybabies, and they'll all get their due when it comes. But for the men that have their nuts in their pants still, and the men that have been tortured by people, mainly women, you don't need them. These ungrateful women nowadays don't show respect, don't even know what respect is, don't know how to give a man respect anymore. And most men out there that I'm speaking to tonight have kind hearts and have strong wills, and we are stubborn in our ways, but be stubborn in your own ways now. It's time to take care of you. It's time to take care of your surroundings. And it's time to build yourself back up to that man you always were, and that man you know who you are. And that man that's gotten you thus far. Stay strong in yourself, but I'd like to share something on the lines of faith. And I'm not going to get biblical with you. I'm not going to get religious with you. But I am going to come with you in faith. And faith is something that us men need right now more than anything. And this faith I'm talking about is not in the church. This faith I'm talking about is not taught by a preacher, a teacher, a rabbi, a pastor, a father. I don't know if I said priest, but we'll say priest again. And for sure, no counselor. And for sure, nobody that's going to tell you what's right and wrong when you know you've conducted your life thus far in a rightly manner. But I am going to talk to you about our Father, our Creator, the one that's going to give you this strength, the one that's going to come down and touch you tonight, and touch you today, and touch you the rest of this week. I need you to have faith in the all of creation. I need you to feel love from the Creator. I need you to take a moment this morning whether you're off to work or whether you're off to fight a new battle or whether you're off to defend our country or whether you're off to take care of your children, whether you're off to take care of your pets. Today's the day that you start realizing you're taking care of yourself. Today's the day when you put your faith in something that's bigger than you, something that's more powerful than you. You were put on this earth where we dwell currently to be on this earth currently. And I hope you understand what that means. That you were born at a certain time to make sure that you existed in this planetary system right now. And no matter what sign you are, no matter what type of man you are, no matter what ethnicity you have, no matter what religion you believe in, no matter what you were taught, you know your heart right from wrong. The Father, our Creator of everything, is telling you today it's time to drop all the extra burdens. It's time to put down all the extra weights. It's time to stand up and be proud that you're a man. And realize that any woman or any other man or any other person in your life that's not building you up is not meant to be in your life. The Father, the Creator of all, wants to let you know it's time to forgive yourself. It's time to walk into a mirror and become that young buck you used to be. I've seen a lot of videos lately of full-grown men beat down, broke down, ran over, taken advantage of, and basically been treated like shit. That don't matter no more. And I don't care what kind of drug addiction you have. I don't care what kind of alcohol addiction you have. I don't care what kind of problems you have. Today's the end of all that. Today's the day for you. Today is the day for you to realize that you have forgiven yourself and you can forgive yourself. And on top of that forgiveness that's coming down from the Father to you, through me, to you, is to tell you this as well. It's time to love you. Men. All you men. And I'm not talking about the posers either. I'm talking about true men. The ones that don't backbite. The ones that don't talk shit. The ones that aren't narcs. The ones that act like they're godly and don't even have an idea who God is. My men, you men that are listening today and catching this video today, it is meant to reach you today to let you know that within you dwells good and sad. And we're going to call the good God, and we're going to call the sad Satan. And I'm going to tell you that in your brain, in your head, your own head, is where this starts, man. That good side of your brain, it's time to push Satan to the curb. It's time to push all those evil thoughts about these backbiting bitches and dudes and all these people that just literally don't care about you, that have pushed you aside. Family members as well, that any family members that have hurt you and cut you down. And I don't care how old you are. If you're 18 years old or if you're 88 years old, I'm talking to you, all of you men. Race, creed, all of it. I'm talking to you. The God that's in your head, the God that you are, is giving you permission to kick Satan to the curb and give him back to all them people that have hurt you, because they're the ones that have put these lowly feelings in you. And you know in your heart that you're a strong individual, and you know in your gut that you protect, and you know that you're a great human being. Don't compare yourself to nobody anymore. From 18 to 88, it's time to wake the fuck up. And I say this out of love. The posers in your life, the backbiters, the cheaters, the ones that have stole from you, the ones that have hurt you, throw them out of your head. Get them out of your heart. Get them out of your life. Make them disappear. Block them if you have to. I mean it. The Father, the creator of all, gives you this permission, grants you this power, and has turned this over to you to be able to be the man that you were designed to be. This world we live in, this creation that we've been part of, hasn't been in our favor. We've been told certain things our entire life, to behave and to do these and follow this and work hard and be a good this, a good dad, a good husband, a good worker, a good this, a good that. You're going to be great from now on, because you are kicking the Satan that's controlling your mind to tell you to do wrongdoings to the curb. And the voices in the back of the head, time to silence them. And the friends that have just literally dissed you no longer are your friends. Know that. It's time to stand up for yourself. It's time to go on TikTok or go on these videos that I keep seeing and rebuttal all the things you said about how down and out you were from what your ex-friends, ex-wife, ex-whatever they are. They are exes for reasons. Know that. They are sent out of your life at this particular time so you can find that young buck strength that you used to have. It's time to put the cojones back in the pants and become the man that you were created to be, which is powerful, which does not take shit from nobody. Doesn't mean that you gotta go hurt anybody. It just means you are not taking no more abuse from the law, from your work, from your family members, from the people that say they care about you. No more pain is allowed in your life. The Father, the creator of all of the universe, needs you to find the love in your heart. And I ain't talking to the men that are narcissists, because the men that are narcissists are the punk-ass posers. Just like the narcissistic women, punk-ass posers. If I'm reaching any men that are parts of gangs or part of activities that you control a lot of people, and a lot of people look up to you because of the situations you're in, men, it's time to use your power as that leader to bring up the men that you know. It's time for you to step up and become that powerful leader that you are, and use your gang affiliations for the betterment of mankind, and to stop with the killings, and to stop of the fighting. Rival gang members, rival people, rival cities, rival anything that's a rival can no longer be a rival, man. Politics, screw it all. They don't care about us. Blue, red, Democrat, Republican, whatever. F all that stuff, hey. They don't. We are last on their list. We're last on the list they care about, and first on their list that they want out of the way. And because we are good men, and because we are leaders, and because we do proper things, this is why I'm talking to all the men today. I have other videos, and I request that you check out the other videos to find out my true intent of why I'm talking directly to the men today. Because without your strong wills, and without your might, and without your compassion for things, this country is headed for a downward spiral that, if we don't come together as men, the posers are going to win. And like I said, if you're part of the readout, if you're part of a organization, if you're part of anything that's Proud Boys, if you will, BLM, if you want to, I don't care, LGBTQT, all of it, I don't care. It's time for the men that are part of these things. I don't care your preferences. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you're a man, you behave like a man, you have nuts in your pants, and a solid heart in your chest, and a strong mind in your head. That head is kicking Satan to the curb today. That heart is being forgiven today. And it's time for you men to tell the other men to find this video, so us men that are the mans of the human race right now, and we are bountiful, we are plenty, we are literally the generation that's going to save this country and bring this country back for our children and for our grandchildren. And this ain't bringing back for your women. This ain't bringing it back for your family. This ain't bringing it back for your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, to become kingpin again. I'm talking to all the men that get this video, to get this video out to more men. And it's time to put all the hate and anger away. It's time to no more have these feelings that are literally, were taught to you to behave this way. The criminal system literally is the law, and we know this. They've done nothing but hold us down. They've been nothing but felonize our brothers and sisters in this world, our family members, our friends. And then now they're picking on our children. They're picking on people that they think they're stronger than. This has nothing to do with politics. This has nothing to do with being of any evil nature. My compliance I'm asking for is of a peaceful compliance. And a peaceful compliance can be reached among men. Anybody that's a man knows that that's capable to become reality. It's time to put down all the lessons learned. It's time to get rid of all the anger. It's time to find a side of you that's been dormant for a long time. It's time. It's totally time. There's no more posting that you're giving up. There's no more posting that you're not fine. There's no more posting of your weakness. All those things are of the Satan in your own mind, that today the God within you is kicking that shit to the curb and is going to help his fellow man out. Every man you know, every man that's always been a man to you. It's time to go talk to them. It's time to start being one with them. It's time to build them up in a stature of love. And I know a lot of men can't handle hearing another man say this, but love and peace and unity is what's going to bring this country back to the men. Everywhere you go, they want to try to tell us men that we can't talk like men, we can't act like men, we can't voice our opinions as men. Bombarded everywhere we go, labeled a homophobic, whatever phobic they want to throw at a man, they do. That shit's over with today, men. You hear me? You picking it up? You understand what I'm saying? You coming at me with a good heart on the other side of this phone? Are you hearing my words clearly? That love, that thing that's been taken from you, stripped from you, kicked around, lied to you about, that love that we've been taught our entire life is not the love I'm talking about. I'm talking about that love that's coming down to you from the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Everything that you've ever doubted, it's good you doubted it. Because the system is doubted. The religion, doubted. The education, doubted. The laws, doubted. The politicians, doubted. The colleges, doubted. All of it. Hospitals, doubted. Men, when you step up to the plate and become the man you're supposed to be, love is what's going to make you better. Period. You don't have to believe me. I'm not asking you to believe me today. I'm asking you to have faith in yourself. I'm not asking you to believe in yourself. I'm asking you to have faith in yourself. I'm asking you to have faith that your one true Father, not your dad, your Father, Creator, the All, the I Am, which you are, which is part of you, is granting you these powers today. My live feeds never get attention, but my videos do eventually. And I'm asking you men that get this video today to share it with other men. Not the poser, narc little bitches that bite behind your back and, think they're all cute to these other men and talk shit. You know who I'm talking about. which kind of guys I'm talking about. They're the kind that say they're this and say they're that and act like they're this and act like they're that. That's not the men I'm reaching today. I'm not reaching to nobody that is a narcissist, that is a godly narcissist. That shit, don't believe in it. Don't believe in the religion. The Father came down 2,000 years ago in the heart of a man. And they want us to call him Jesus. They want us to personify this human being as somebody that we're supposed to devote our life to. Because they want to take they want to take your power away from you and make you weak. That you're going to believe in another man that's going to save you, man. The only man that's going to save you is the one that's looking in the mirror this morning. The only man that's going to save you is the one that's sitting there listening to this. The only man that's going to save you is you finding Christ and knowing who Christ really is and what Christ did for us as the Father who came down to be present on this hell, if you will, that we live in, called the earth, this planet, this globe or whatever, this flat earth. It don't matter. It does not matter. It's like a friend of mine just told me yesterday. It doesn't matter if it's a round earth. It doesn't matter if it's a flat earth. If us men don't fix it, it's a fucked place that we live in. So what difference does it make if it's round or flat? Stop the bickering about ignorant shit. That stuff's quitting. The masculine needs to find the love for his masculine. And with that, you will understand that love that you're looking for, that love I'm talking about, that requires you to quit looking through the eyes of only as a man, looking through your eyes as a woman to the point of protecting the women, protecting children, basically protecting the innocence. Posers and narcissists and backbiting little bitches that act like they're these dudes that act like they're men. They just sit in their bubble. They just sit still and wait and think that, I'm just going to do my regular routine and everything's going to be okay. My wife's going to love me. My kids are going to look up to me. My government's going to take care of me. My banker, my hospital, my blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. I've been literally for a good month now spitting out a system and how our system is ran and how it's not beneficial to us, period. Especially if you're into the ages of 45 to 60. And I'm not singling out younger and I'm not singling out older. I'm talking about the people that are older than that are already set. And the people that are younger than the 45, well, you're mostly posers. Unfortunately, because of how the system has treated the true men of this earth. I don't care if you live in France. I don't care if you live in Africa. I don't care if you live in New Zealand, Australia, Ukraine, Russia, Germany, the United Kingdom, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. I know a lot of you people won't hear my voice, but as one coming to an empty screen to you is the multiplicity of it. I'm telling you right now that the Father, the creator of all, the I am, that which I am, has brightened my life personally over the last 3 years. The Father, the creator of all, the everything, the nothing, the Alpha, the Omega, the plus, the minus, the good, the bad, the male, the female, is the Father I speak of, the creator that I'm talking of, the one that has us here on this planet right now for this very reason. It's time to step out of the church. It's time to tell your loved ones who's in charge, and of course in a loving, protective way. Once again, I know I'm being direct, but the directive is peaceful compliance and protection of the innocents and love for all. It's time to take our lives back. It's time to realize that we have a treasury in this country that belongs to us. Not no bankers, not no Vatican, not no London, not no Swiss, not no Washington, D.C. And if you don't know that those are your masters, then you might as well click this video off, because you're not the man I'm speaking to. The men I'm speaking to are the ones that have woke up and literally are sick of it. Have did, like I said before, all the right things continually, yet seem to have no benefits comparable to everybody else. And this is an upsetting thing, and I know this is an upsetting thing to tell all the men in the world what I'm saying, because it makes you frustrated, it makes you angry, it makes you hurt, it makes you think of things that aren't necessarily of a positive nature. But we started off the show telling you, I'm telling you, from the Father to you, the Creator, as His shepherd that's trying to bring light to you, men, that your strength is your love. Your strength, no matter what your position is, where you are at in life, is because of love. If you're in a bad space, if you're in a bad situation, if you're in a not right-minded, it's okay. It's all okay. But if you can't forgive yourself, you can't pick yourself up, you can't dust yourself off, and you can't shake the anger that somebody's created onto you, if you can't put aside the backbiters, liars, whatever you want to say, you know what I mean. I'm not going to keep going down that road. I'm trying to keep you, all the men, in a position of strength. And men know that pushed into a corner more often than not is not a good thing to do to a man. And when we are pushed into those corners, we come up with a few knee-jerk reactions, knee-jerk followings, if you will, or knee-jerk responsiveness to things. You have to train your brain, starting today, to stop thinking the way you've always thought. Because the way you think is what everybody has done to you. The way you think is because what's been taught to you, impressed on you, projected onto you, deflected to you. And the people that hold the real responsibility for the way you feel, we're giving it back to them. So you're going to forgive yourself today. Any wrongdoing you've ever done, any bad thing you've ever said or felt or done, no matter where you are in the world, I don't care what your situation is, men. Today's the day. Forgiveness is yours alone to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, hug yourself, love yourself, realize that until you do this, you won't be the true man you're meant to be. It saddens me to know that men that are larger than life, if you will, continually are still participating in childlike activities. We think going to work and working hard is being a man. It's not what being a man's all about. A man is about building beautiful things. A man is about creating awesome ideas with other men that are like-minded. A man isn't based on what his value is as far as the paycheck goes. A man's worth is his value. Are you worth more than your paycheck? Are you worth more in this existence as a loving, caring individual that wants to look out for the weak and realize your strength in that? But you can't do these things until you love yourself first. And Christ teaches us, and Christ tells us, the heart of the Father tells us that we're supposed to love God with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our soul, and with all our strength. At the beginning of this show, I told you where God dwells. They don't want you to believe this. They don't want you to think what I'm telling you is correct. They want you to have a belief in their belief system, that their system is failing daily and has been failing for many years because of the evil construct that's ran this system for too long. The timid men that continue to put on their robes and put on their white jackets and put on their badges and put on their fake facade, acting like they're men, hurting other men and women and children. It's not a man. You are not men. And if you hear this, I don't care. You know you're not. If you're an adult man and you're doing anything that hurts other men or other women or other children in any aspect of imprisoning them, unlawfully arresting them, injecting them with poison, feeding our family of the human species of men and women and children. You're not a man. If you're a judge that's incarcerating people because you're getting a flip of the script from the Vatican and you're on the take, you're not a man. You're evil. And these are the men that we need, the men to step up to the plate and take these and bust these things and quit this stuff and quit living in this realm of the system that of the down, if you will. If you're in the military, we have good military out there, and it's being ran by 45. And I've known this for a very long time. I've had shows about this. But as it lays that, as I spoke of the posers, the ones that act like they're godly or act like they're men are not, have taken these videos from me and erased them because they're such cowards. Because of the truth I spoke then, at the beginning of all this mess we're in right now, they hate the truth. And I'm telling you the truth about the whole system. And I'm telling you the truth about the way the whole system works, not fully, but I will tell you. My page is open, my page is available, the texts are open. I don't care what you got to say on the other. I don't care what who has to say on the other side. If you are part of the system that is continually teaching, preaching, doing deeds to, and it's not from a loving aspect of life for fellow mankind, you're on the wrong side of the rope, my friends. You're on the wrong side of the river, if you will. You men that are hiding in your bubbles, and hiding in your activities, and keep following your simplistic way of living by going to work and collecting your check and paying your taxes and all your bills, you're part of the problem. Whether you want to believe that or not, I don't care. But you are. Because every dollar you collect from your slave masters that collect it right back from you are raping little kids. The police, the CIA, the FBI, the judges, the churches. This is where all this stuff happens. The pedophilia we keep hearing about on the news, do we hear that it's coming out of people's houses? Ask yourself this. Do you hear the criminal charges against children coming out of houses? You don't. You hear it coming out of organizations. And there's one pimp that runs the whole prostitute ring. And the more you keep going to work, and the more you keep collecting dollars, and the more you keep buying into the system, your money, your hands are blood on your hands. Because your hands collect the fake debt money that's literally only good for paying debt. It's not for creating wealth. They're systematically stealing they're emptying our treasury, the money that we went to work for our entire lives and built this country from what it was to what it is. I am not responsible for what the ancestral European Anglo-Saxon evil people did to this people of this country currently, presently, in the past, all of it. The men that I'm speaking to, you're not responsible for it. No matter the race that you think you are, or the color you think you are, that's their separation. We are all of the human race. We don't belong to monkeys. We don't belong to the fifth day of creation. We're nowhere close to that meaningless of an individual. We are divine. We are divine because we are part of the Creator. Our consciousness, our eyes, our actions directly feed back to the universe, where the universe directly feeds to us. He's tired of the pain. He's been patient, waiting for mankind to step up to the plate, and which is who I'm talking to today, the men. He's waiting for you to stop acting like a child and contributing to evil slave owners that are enslaving your kids. If you don't think that this applies to you, then you're chaining up your own children. To the illegal immigrants here, how can you blame them for coming into this country? Because they're safer here. Understand that. They're human beings. I don't agree with the way it's happening. Okay, don't agree with the way that this has taken place, but it's because of our government, and because of London, and because of Switzerland, and because of the Vatican, and because of the oligarchs, and because of the Nazis that don't care about you, don't care about us. You think the Democrats care about you? You think the Republicans really care about you? You really think that? That's your belief system. Your belief system is a false system. Your belief system is doubt. Believing in anything that anybody's ever told you that's true, you have to tell yourself that you were lied to. And if you're like me, deceit doesn't sit well. Especially when you were told that you were supposed to do it this way. You were told you were supposed to do it that way. Anybody that has a child that's under 7 years old, you need to do some research on how to rescue your child before they're turned into chattel like you are. You have till your child is 7 years old to save your own child from becoming a slave to the system. There is a way for the adults and the teenagers and the elderly people to get ourselves out of this bondage that we were born into. We had no choice. This is the part that's the kicker. You're a bond. Everything you own that you think you own, your house, your cars, your boats, your lake cabins, you don't own that. You don't. Even if you're paying the bank, even if you paid it off, if it's registered or filed with to the state you live in, the states work for the government. The government doesn't work for you. Have you not realized this yet? They sit there and say that democracy, they're the American people. That's to keep us in line. men. That's to keep the slaves in their cages. They thought they were going to annihilate so many people with their little thing they pulled off here a while back, forcing all of us to stay home and forcing all of us to house arrest, if you will. That was a test, because the real deal's coming. If 45 doesn't complete his task before the criminals get to continue their task, it's like I've said before, you're going to be sitting in your bubble and they're going to come knocking on your door and kick you out of your house that's never been yours, as long as you live in a state. And if you don't know what I mean by that is, if you are a citizen that lives in the state of Indiana, it's literally saying that you are a citizen that's in a state of insanity. You have no rights. You think you're free. You're free right now? Then get in your car without insurance, without a license, without buckling up, and drive across town. Show me how free you are. Get on a plane, walk across the country, whatever you want to do. Show me how free you are. Go down to your local market, grab some food off the shelf. Show me how free you are. Because the community that we need to become won't rely on the system anymore. This monetary slave system that is literally a debt-created system. Do you know what words mean? Mortgage? Do you know when you make a payment for your utility bill that utility bill's already paid for? Because most Americans that are above the age of 35 roughly are worth about $6 billion each. Some of you are worth even more. There's 138 CUSIP accounts in the New York Stock Exchange. And your number is in that one of those accounts. And it could be in multiple accounts. Depends when you're born. Depends what your CUSIP is. But guess what? That birth certificate, your cattle trading number, if you will, it's called chattel, is in Rome, Italy, or in the Swiss Alps, or in Buckingham Palace. Sorry to tell you all this, but I need the men to wake up. I need the men that are leaders. I need the men that are tired. I need the men that are sick of it to forgive themselves and know it wasn't your fault. We were never born into sin, you guys. It's a lie. It's all a lie. We're born into debt. And our debts are supposed to be forgiven every Jubilee. Every 49 years. Anything that you're indebted to is supposed to be forgiven. Every 50 years. But what they've systematically done since the early 1300s with Pope VIII in 1302 is create a law that made us their slaves. And this is hand in hand with the current Pope and his system of who he is. as the black general of the Jesuits. And the Rothschilds that own the banking system in our country, the fractional banking system that prints fake money, that our presidents keep emptying or keep approving that printing so they can go into our treasury and diminish your worth. I just told you, every person at the age of 7, after you turn 7, you become their property. And they buy that bond, birth certificate, for approximately $600,000 to $6 million, $600,000 to $6 million. And because you go to work every day, and if you've worked at a corporation for 30 years, we'll say, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, it don't matter. That first paycheck you got is the same paycheck you'll get till you quit that place. You don't ever get ahead. So your first $1,500 paycheck, $700 paycheck, whatever it is, they just give it to you in the form of a bullshit materialistic purchasing power of the same people that produce the materialistic shit that you buy with the fake money, pumps back into the system that they own 97% of, that they're 97% responsible for the carbon emissions in this world, 97% ownership of everything on this planet, including you, including your land, including your house, including your car, including your children, including your wife, including your husband, including your parents. Our parents didn't know this stuff. This stuff has only been in our country for 100 years. It was in our country beforehand, but when Nathan Rothschild set up the Federal Reserve in our country in 1913, you already had Henry Ford, Morgan Stanley, Rockefellers, Chase, Wells Fargo, these people that agreed to let them in. Did you know this, men? That when our country became its own supposedly entity in 1776, that literally in 1781 we had to pay the king 600,000 pounds of silver for starting a revolution. And we've been paying interest on that money since then. And since that time, 1871 to 1881, whether you want to believe this or not, there's a second constitution in place, which allowed the Rothschild banking system to come in, because they had already broke every country in Europe and in Asia and in the Middle East and in Africa and India and China. Does anybody ever ask themselves how China went from 1 billion people to being the poorest nation on the planet just 60 years ago, to becoming the powerhouse there now? Where do you think the elite have been posted up? Other than Switzerland, London, the Vatican, and Washington, D.C. And the oligarchs of Europe. Do you men that are truly men, do you really think Putin hasn't been doing what's right for his countrymen and his country? Do you not think that Putin has done everything because 45 told them years back that this is what's going to happen. We're taking down the pedophile ring, and taking down the pedophile ring is going to lead to all the pedophiles that literally run the system, that look at us like we're nothing, bags of trash, walking around, waste of life. They don't even want to, they've got the food so expensive because they want to starve you out. They want your check that they set, that saves $700 that they gave you every week. Is that same $700 that you were getting even just 4 years ago equivalent to the same $700 you're getting today? Ask yourself the real questions. Quit pussyfooting around with your life, because you pussyfooting around with your life and locking yourself in your homes and going to your jobs and being in your bubbles is placing your kids in cages, whether you believe that or not. And you think that they care about you. You think that they're going to save you. You think that they're going to keep just dishing out money to you, right? Well, you obviously never lived life. You obviously don't know what a bait and switch is. You obviously don't know hook, line, and sinker is. You obviously don't know anything about becoming a true put down person. And you obviously, if you haven't suffered any of these ailments that most United States citizens live, and you haven't suffered any of these wrongdoings or wrong ships or these bad things in life, guess what? You're those people that put on the garments, aren't you? And sooner or later, you better figure it out. You people that are on the wrong side of the river is my point. Because you know the time's getting nearer and nearer to your whole system crashing, right? Like, we have a pope that's supposedly the vicar of Jesus Christ, the hand of God, if you will, that invented the Roman Catholic Church, right? He's in there, but he's a Jesuit. He's a black general Jesuit. Look up the Jesuit oath once. Look up Sabbatee and Franks. Look up how Rothschilds got their wealth. Look up what's underneath Abraham Lincoln's hands on the throne he sits at the Lincoln Memorial. Down each side of his hands that run on his chair. Look on the back of your dime. Look at the flag in Colorado. Oh yeah, they abolished slavery. Sorry, they didn't. It was more designed to abolish slavery so they could do it in your face and laugh at you that you're a slave and you don't even know it. I'm tired of it. I have a remedy. The Father, the creator of all and everything, has given me, shown me how it all started. And you got to go back thousands and thousands of years, ladies and gentlemen. And there's people out there in this world that know all that what I'm saying is true 100%. And, they are all ostracized, kept out of the mainstream, never to be heard of, but they know things, right? And the other people that know what I'm saying are the people that put their garments on. And they know what I'm saying is true because they all are the prostitutes of the main pimp. The ones that double dip our tax dollars. The ones that make you pay for your electricity, the city you live in. every single one of these cities that is incorporated into the corporation knows that if you even had $1,000 electric bill, that you don't have to pay it because it's already paid for. The statement they send you, just a statement. You pay it, and everything you get comes in your name, all caps, right? All caps. Look it up. Why is your name in all caps? Especially if you're older. You have a live birth certificate. But like I said, to all you parents out there, young parents alike, whether you think you're woke or whether you think you're awake, I don't give a shit. You have till your child's 7 to save their life. And start getting them out of the slave trade. At 7 years old, they're swooped up because you abandoned your child at the hospital when they made you sign that birth certificate. So now you know the hospitals are part of it. They're the ones that get paid to do whatever they do to your child after they take it from you. And it saddens me. It saddens me to my core that we have been lied to our entire lives about the system that we thought was taking care of us and that cared about us. They don't, period. From the time you're 5 years old till the time you're 65 years old, you're nothing but a cash cow. And once again, this message is for you men. Don't care your stature. Don't care your ethnicity. Don't care your beliefs. Don't care what you do behind closed doors. Don't care what you do for a living. It's time to wake the fuck up. And I say that in the most loving possible way I can say it. But the Father, the Creator, He's not sending His begotten Son to save you. Because the benevolent love that the Father is of and the Son is of Him, He's not to judge you guys. Get out of your churches. Get out of your beliefs. Find your true Christ. And know who your true Father is. And know that your God is within. And we'll start with there. And if you catch any of my other videos, you might catch wind of what I'm trying to tell everybody. And I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to get all my messages out. I do not care. I know that death is part of the glory of living. But what we're doing right now, it's not living. We were born perfect. Everybody. All of you. Everybody that can, even you women, and even you posers, and even all you other people that want to follow the fucking leader. We were born perfect. All of us. Every single one of us were born on this planet perfect. What happened? What happened? Systematic abuse is what happened. Systematic lies is what happened. The crucifixion was to make us stupid. and not understand that the power we have as a unit together. Unity means heaven. Community means brothers and sisters in heaven together in love. And with love and a peaceful compliance to everything changes everything. To understand the concept of love, you have to understand that the love you think you have for everybody around you is fairy tale love. It's a belief system, and the belief system is doubt. So you live in doubt. Whether you want to think that or not, you're part of a system that really doesn't want you here because they already have all the money, 97% of everything. Yeah, you might be living in a $500,000 house and have 4 fucking vehicles sitting outside and 26 TVs, and your kids all got Under Armour shit and blah, blah, blah. You think that's what life's about, huh? You think that's why we were here? You think that's why we were created? You think that's why we came out of our mother perfect, was to buy things, work for things, take our time away from our loved ones, the ones that our families? How many family members out there all believe the same thing, that are true family, like blood brothers and sisters, that type? Not just the conscience realm like I'm talking about, where we are all one. The human race is one species. We were all created on a different day than everything else that was created. So, and, you know, your college systems, your belief systems, everything you're going to say that, blah, blah, blah. Well, they lied too. Hate to break the news. They've been lying to you since you've been in kindergarten. They've been controlling you since you've been in kindergarten. They've been monitoring you and systematically indoctrinating you into being 85% of everybody that graduates from a high school, a server. And if you weren't one of those kids that got to graduate, well, you were felonized. Why does the United States have more prisons than any country in the whole planet, eh? Why did they kill Muammar Gaddafi? Why did they kill Saddam Hussein? Why did they kill the African president? Why did they kill the people that didn't want to play along with the reserve system? Why does Africa supply the whole world with their resources and their children eat dirt and flies and don't have no water? Why is Nestle Corporation on every inlet of water or fresh water stealing the people's water to put it in bottles to sell it to them that they can't even afford to buy because they make $1.85 a day? And you think you going to work and making your money, what you make in a week, is enough for 4 families for a month. And you go to work and you waste your money and you throw it away and you buy the shit that literally feeds right back to the Jews that are part of the whole system. Why do you think the Old Testament's next to the New Testament? Why do you think that the New Testament and the Old Testament have been changed more times in the last 100 years than it's been changed in the last 1900 years? Why do you think they burnt people alive? Why do you think they cut people's heads off and put them at the cross? Why do you think that they had the Spanish Inquisitions? Why do you think they went around for the Crusades for 1,000 years and wiped out anybody that had Christianity, that literally knew what Christ's teachings were? And Christ's teachings, I'm telling you, you're not going to find it in no church that's out of the 30,000 deities that are in this world. And I don't care what faith you have or religion you follow, because once again, that's a belief system. You're putting your belief system in a man. You think God's a man. You think Satan's a man. You think Lucifer's a man. You think Christ is a man. You think Jesus is a man. You think that they're all men. They personified your divine system. You are divine. You are part of the great divine cosmos of nothing but love and energy. Positive, beautiful, unmeasurable love that you can't even fathom because you don't know what love is. And I'm trying to get you to understand is starts with you forgiving yourself. It's not your fault. It's none of our faults. I hope you people can find some of my other videos and listen to them. Some of them are with half hour to hour long, and I have a 7-hour video on there. 7 hours I went one night. Not for me. I don't collect money. My site's always been free. My life is at risk every time I talk about this shit. I know that. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. What are they going to do to me that they haven't already done to me? All I know is what I have in me, they'll never be able to take that from me. And that's what I want for all of you to understand. I want for all of you to know that he dwells within. From your feet to your head, the whole system is your whole system. The human body is the middle measurement of everything. From the smallest neutral to the largest thing in space. And just so you know, space is within the firmament, everybody. But it is above the clouds. Our sun and our moon are not in like where you think they are. Gravity, I'm going to tell you this too, is not what you think it is. They say you're living in the Matrix. It's not true either. You're living in creation from the Creator, and you are part of His creation. That's why you're divine. Look at an ant crossing across a sidewalk. Look at grass growing. Look at trees budding flowers. Look at the water, the way it works. Look at the way the wind blows. Look at the way the clouds move. Look at the way things are. Understand that everything that we are and it is all a beautiful design. Any place, if you don't know this, any place there's design means there's a creator. Go back to when you were 4 and 5 years old, before they wrecked you, before they took you away from your parents, and you used to play with your friends, and you created all these things, and you did all these things, and had no idea the next day you woke up what the next day was. All of a sudden you're walking, all of a sudden you're talking, all of a sudden you're not pooping your pants, all these things you didn't know that you did all those things, but yes, you did it. But they hurt us all at that age. And that's why we're all fucked. That's why we all have our shitty attitudes and our knee-jerk reactions to everything, and blaming and pointing fingers at everybody, and not understanding anything, because the psychology of everything is a lie. The sociology of everything's a lie. Everything they've told you, Darwinism, a lie. Gravity, lie. Time, a lie. Did you know that our calendar that we go by has only been around since 333 AD? You didn't. Why wouldn't they teach us that? Why do you think uh, Gianardo Bruno was had a stake drove through his tongue and burnt alive at a stake in the 1600s? Why do you think Galilee fagged out? Why do you think Leonardo da Vinci got put on an island and fagged out? Posers. They're the ones that talked all the smack and said this and this and this, but this guy, Bruno, didn't bow to him. And once I keep going, I'm going to tell you that the secrets and the true teachings of Christ and the true meaning of the Kundalini, or the tree of life that the Jews were supposed to tell them, which is why Jesus had said, or Christ, or how you want to say it, sorry, force a habit, that the Christ told his apostles and disciples to not eat of the leavened bread and the fermented wine. Why do you think he picked on the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes and the publicans? Publicans. You want to believe in publicans, right? You're Republicans? I'll look up what publicans are. And then look up what re means. And put the re in front of the publican. They're harvesters of wealth, Republicans. Democrats that want you to believe in democracy, mob rule. They want to rule you. Government, mind. They want to rule your mind. Control your mind is what government means. Citizenship is because you're on it. They want you to believe that you are part of their maritime law, living in the United States of America, where you were born a free, divine, God created individual, that literally whatever your name is that's not who you are. You are part of the I am, that which I am, and I am part of that same I am. Therefore, by that statement, you should realize that we are all part of the Creator's creation from the beginning. We have divine rights. We have inalienable rights. We are not of flesh, though we wear the flesh. We are divine creatures that are trapped in a very bad place because of the evil people in charge of us. And I think I've depressed myself enough for tonight or today. I would suggest sharing this. I would suggest, I hope it pisses you off a little bit. I hope you understand that you can forgive yourself today. I hope you understand that you can love yourself today. I hope you can understand that today is a new day, and every minute's a new minute. Every second's a new second. Every moment you live in the now is one. Every time you don't act the way you acted before, every time you don't follow through with what you used to follow through with, every crime you didn't commit, every dollar you make, realize that no matter how much money you're going after what they want you to do. You're doing what they want you to do, and that should at least slow you down. Shooting your neighbor, beating your wife, kicking your dog, slapping your kid, missing work, being drunk, being hateful, believing in God, believing in the church, believing in the colleges, believing in the professors, believing in the, trusting in the courts, trusting in your cops, trusting in your sheriffs, trusting in all those people, trusting your doctor. That's what they want you to believe, you guys. Okay? Well, once again, look up the word believe. Start looking up what words mean, everybody. That's key. And you will be mad. And this is why I started off this show telling everybody that my message is totally peaceful and compliant for love. Because unless you have that train of thought going into it, if you do any discovery, at least if you step out of your bubble a little bit, realize the pedophilia that's in our world. And like I said, is the pedophilia happening in houses? That's the part these people never thought they were going to get caught. But no matter who your neighbor is and no matter what that neighbor's done to you, it could be it could be his kid that got took, and the next kid that could be taken is yours. And we're so disassociated in America with what's going on in the world that our 330 million people that live here can't keep the boat afloat, you guys. Russia ain't coming after us. Russia's never been coming after us. Russia and China and America and India and all these rich countries, they've all been in space, you guys, together since 1970. But I will tell you this, Putin is doing everything for his country because he's sick of the way the triad power, well, you got to add Switzerland in there too. It's seven. There's seven particulars that are involved in this, and they are falling by the wayside because of 45 and the actual men. And they will be, hopefully, that you people don't understand, that you understand one thing out of this whole message. It does not matter who's going to run the country after whatever's going on in our country. We are supposed to live side by side harmoniously in love with each other. There's no need for money. There's no need for greed. There's no need for hate. All that stuff goes away by unconditional love. And I'll leave you with this message, food for thought. Whether you've ever had a kid or not, it's tough. Most people have. But most people have had some sort of pet in their life that they cared deeply about and loved very much. But your pet and your child that cannot talk, prove to me that they love you. Animals can't talk. How do you know your pet loves you? How do you know your child loves you before he talks? So that love that I'm talking about is that love. And love is only defined by the one word of itself, is love. And that's what this country needs more than anything right now, is 100% compatible, unconditional, childlike love for each other. And I hope the men that I'm talking to today literally can find that love today. no matter how badass you think you are, hey. It's better to be a badass and find love than a poser to act like he's in love, right? Men? Remember, the Father, the Creator of all, wants us to come back to Him with love in our eyes. And that's what we need to do. And with that being said, deuces.